Welcome back to another episode of JK Philly. Today we got another Sixers update video that we're going to do. Just a couple of news. Of course, the schedule came out for the NBA. Maybe a lot of stuff, maybe just some certain things to highlight from the schedule that we can talk about. We got a couple of games in the preseason against the Knicks. I think the Magic and the T-Wolves and stuff like that. Of course, we're going to be able to see VJ play some minutes. We're going to be able to see Janai Broom play some minutes. And really just, how our team has been fluctuating throughout the offseason. This is going to be a really good look in October when we're able to get that perspective from them. Of course, Maxey, McCain, VJ, Adem, everybody is around in the gym. Everybody's ready to go. Even Trendon Watford as well. Just it looks like from the videos that the Sixers are posting online and just everything that we're hearing, I guess, from sports media is just showing us that the young guys are ready to play. The young guys are ready to go out there. So we should be ready in terms of a preseason game. We'll really be able to see how these guys have been, meshing throughout the offseason and really just getting to work and seeing what they can do over the preseason games. Of course, our first game is not home. It's going to be against the Celtics, a beat-up Celtics team. So we get to see how that's going to look like this year. We talked a lot about it in a couple of different episodes of just the Celtics might not be great. They might be good in the start of the year because everybody's kind of getting used to their teams and stuff like that again if they're not what they were last year. So still going to be good with a Jaylen Brown and a Peyton Pritchard and Derek White and, those guys that have been within the team. Outside of that, we'll see how much depth they have to really go out and compete in a game like that. But again, it's going to be the Sixers. Who knows what type of lineup we're going to get from Nick Nurse. And then we got the Hornets for our first home game. So hopefully we can, first couple games, a beat-up Celtics team, and then a not-so-great Charlotte Hornets team that maybe got a little bit better, maybe stay the exact same, who knows, but could compete with them and maybe get a couple good wins under our belt for a first away and home game. Just wanted to mention those. Obviously, I'm not going to go through all 82, but something that we do have to mention, Sixers fans should already know this because we're uploading this video a little bit after when they released it. I think it was still 2-3 days ago maybe. Even on social media outside of Sixers media, we have 16 back-to-backs this season coming up, which is ridiculous, right? Because we just finished the season where Embiid verbally came out and it was one of the biggest media points for the Sixers of Joel Embiid is not playing back-to-backs. This was highly televised, highly all over the media, but now we have this season 16 back-to-backs, and I believe if I'm putting it up on screen correctly, it's tied for the most in the league this year. Don't know if that was somebody's plan, or I don't know. I don't even know how to explain it. I don't know if somebody said, yeah, I think the Sixers should have a lot of back-to-backs this year. Or if it's just yeah, you guys are in the rotation, you were going to get that already. Which, who cares about that at the end of the day, because we'll never know that. But if it was, and people are creating that and knowing that, not that they have to care about the Sixers, I understand that wholeheartedly, but it's just that's crazy as a Sixers fan to see that and be how do we have 16 back-to-back games and our best player, who's obviously going through injury, who's getting surgery, it's he just said last year he's not doing the back-to-backs. And yes, that's on him. Yes, I'm a Sixers fan crying about it. Whatever, I don't care. That's just crazy to me. Not, whatever it is, it's just crazy. That definitely just needs to be mentioned. I don't think any Sixers fan, how I said in the beginning of just getting a JK Philly perspective, I think every Sixers fan is what the F? Why are we getting 16 back-to-backs? Cool, we got a lot of young guys that are going to be able to play those games, but it's just yeah, I don't know about that. 16 back-to-backs is crazy, but we'll see what happens with that. Even speaking about Embiid, there's been so many mixed reports about the health of Embiid, mostly, of course, and then even Paul George, who's not even really getting talked about that much. But we see stories, and I don't even know, because I think we just talked about it in our last video, but we see stories about Joel Embiid, it's not looking good. Like it's quote not good, right? Or now we see Nick Nurse is in a press conference finally talking about Embiid saying, "Oh yeah, no, it's great. Like it's really good. He's getting back. He's working really hard." It's like, okay, what's going on here? Because it's like I can believe whichever side that I want to at this point, but just under my thought process, going off of last year and using that to go off of this year, it doesn't seem like it's going good. It seems as if maybe he's a little bit better than last week, but better than last week is still not anywhere close to being ready for the season. So if that's what he meant, I got you, and I agree with that probably. But if you're saying like, no, he's good, he's gonna be ready, like, you know, maybe November, maybe December he'll come back. I'm like, all right, we'll see what happens. You know, nobody really knows a lot about when Joel Embiid is gonna come back. Obviously, Joel Embiid, hell, doesn't even know when he's gonna come back. We just gotta wait and see, man. We say it every Sixers video, every time we talk about Joel Embiid. It's up to this guy. It's up to this guy's knees. Just expect it's gonna be Maxey and the crew again. I'm saying, like, Maxey, McCain. You sprinkle in a little bit of VJ and a Quentin Grimes. Hopefully we get this freaking contract situation figured out, and like a Dembona and the crew. Like outside of that, you got what? Kyle Lowry, Eric Gordon, Kelly Oubre are regular guys, and then, you know, Broom and whoever else, Watford, and then like even some of the two-way guys that we got. I don't know. We'll see. We got a lot of young guys. I mean, I still can be hopeful, maybe in the same sense of how we saw Oklahoma City, and I don't want to just relate it to Oklahoma, but you can talk about like the Kings a few years ago or the Orlando Magic a few years ago, and maybe we can start to have that type of media be like, hey man, Philly's young core looks really good, and maybe in a few years they'll be able to, you know, get the ball rolling with something. The same way we talk about those other teams, like Orlando could really, of course, you know, with the absence of Jason Tatum and even like a Halliburton going to the finals this year, to still give him his respect, but with the absence of those two guys, it's kind of like the Knicks are going to be running the show, I would assume, with like a couple of other good teams, but like the Magic could make some noise. And Oklahoma, you know, a few years ago, it was just like Shea got traded, missed the playoffs, I think, and then maybe got in the play-in and lost, and then, you know, started making their runs after that. But they were a young team that had that nice core. You know, maybe a VJ and a Jared McCain, and maybe even, you know, Sixers fan exclusively would know, but a Dembona could really make a difference next year, and we can see what happens with them in a couple of years. I think if you're a real Sixers head, you know that. You would obviously hope for that. You're kind of a little bit less hopeful on a Joel Embiid coming back by December and being like, oh yeah, like once he comes back, we got nothing to worry about. It's like, okay, maybe we'll be okay for like a couple of months, you know, maybe even to like the All-Star weekend or something like that, but who knows? And maybe Paul George gets it together. We, you know, on JK Philly, we never really care to talk about Paul George. If he comes back and he's great, or he's at least giving you like 20 points maybe a game, and you can put that in a starting lineup and it's consistent, hey, love you, PG. If not, don't really care about you, PG. It's just like that. So but yeah, that's all that we really got for today. Just wanted to get back on the channel, making sure that we're still consistent. Definitely appreciate the love. If you guys are returning to the channel and been watching and paying attention to even like the Phillies videos that we've been uploading, we definitely appreciate you guys checking in with the channel, staying tuned with the channel. Of course, when basketball comes back, we'll definitely dive a lot deeper throughout the season with it. We want to still be consistent with the Phillies and see how their transition goes to playoffs and everything like that. And of course, we got our Eagles coming around, so we're going to be talking about them as well. So hopefully you guys enjoy all the Philadelphia content, and make sure that you guys just stick around. We're hopeful for the Eagles, of course. We're hopeful for the Phillies to do something in the playoffs this year, and we'll try to be as hopeful as we can for the Sixers season this year. But definitely appreciate you guys for watching the video. We'll see you on the next episode. Thank you guys for watching another episode of JK Philly. Make sure you stay tuned by subscribing to the channel.